Hi, in this channel, I'm completing a problem-based learning scenario that was created by my instructor, Aaron Lawler, on Canvas through Wabanzi Community College. I investigate a complex real-world challenge, which is for my class, The Global Village, which was guided by a critical question. I present this project using oral, written, and visual communication. The question I answer is there a right or true worldview, or a correct way to live? In order for me to answer that question, I have to answer other questions as well, such as, is there a God, and what is he or she like? What is the nature and origin of the universe? What is the nature and origin of humankind? What happens to a human after death? Where does knowledge come from? What is the basis and ethics of morality? What is the meaning of human history? I answer these questions in 8 different videos. In each of the videos, I address either one or a few of the sub-questions. But in the final video is where I wrap it up and take my firm stance on whether or not there's a correct way to live. Most of the videos are about a few minutes in length. The longest one I made was about 14 minutes and 46 seconds, but the rest of them are under 10 minutes. So yeah, I know I was supposed to aim for 3 to 4 minutes for the entire project, but these questions were so deep and complex that I don't know if I could have addressed or expressed those questions in such little words. And then I also have in the comment section of my video, or the description section, like a summary of what my video is about. Some of them include like a long explanation of what the video is about, but as I was getting to the end of it, I was getting pretty tired, so I shortened up my description in the comments, but my video explains everything that I said in the comments, and I also include the visuals of what I say in the comments as well. And then I also include my works cited page in each of the videos. So in each video, I include the references I use for that particular video. I didn't include my works cited page on one giant page. I thought I would just include my references on each of the video, depending on what sources I used. So here's how I made my channel, or my videos too as well. So, or how the process for how this project went. I started off by researching the questions and putting my answers in a Google Doc, and started to I didn't actually cite the sources yet. I just put the links in the Google Doc so I could cite them later on, and I did that a few weeks ago. And then this past weekend, I recorded my answer in my basement and used a few visuals to illustrate my answer. I did have the document behind my phone because I was talking about so many things that I couldn't have remembered everything. And then if I was talking, like even with the document behind my phone, I still had to look at the camera too. So there were times where I forgot what I wanted to say. So I had to pause the video, then figure out what I was going to say, and then start it up again. So when I wasn't recording, I upload it. I put all the videos together in one. I used a video editing app called VideoPad Video Editor, and then I started to upload it to YouTube. But then I realized, one, that video was one long video. It was too long. I needed to separate it and break it up into chunks. And then second, I needed a lot more visuals than what I actually had, because some of the topics and concepts I talked about, I used visuals for, but then there were other ones where I just talked about them without actually visualizing them, so I needed more visuals to illustrate them. So then I started up by breaking the videos off into sections, and then I was also thinking about what other visuals I could use for the topics I still needed visuals for. So I think the most complex visual I used was the illustration and animation for the second law of thermodynamics, because I created that animation using a software program. I don't know the name of it now, but when I go back up to my computer, I'll look at the name. Actually, yeah, I'll look at the name of the software program, and it should be in the description box below. So I basically just used a similar illustration to one that was in a YouTube video, but I kind of wanted to create it on my own and test that software program out and create try to create an animation on my own. It was pretty interesting. I liked that quite a bit. And then for the other illustrations, I picked a couple pictures online and downloaded them and included them in the video. And then there were a couple of like Venn diagrams and other web diagrams and other stuff that I drew on my own. I can't remember if there's a diagram I drew that wasn't a Venn diagram or a web, but it's possible. So I basically just drew it out on a piece of paper, uploaded it, emailed it to myself, and then put it in the video. And this whole project I used VideoPad Video Editor. There were a few sections that I cut out of my channel because I didn't like how it sounded, or it needed to sound better. And then for anything that I didn't like add when I was recording in my basement, I did a video voiceover for those. And then there was also times that I put some text on the video because I either needed to add something, I needed to clarify something, or I needed to correct something because I made a mistake. And then there was one of the videos where I had to use a flip effect because, well, even though I was showing the test questions on the text that overlaid the video, I still thought you should be able to see it on the piece of paper so it wasn't mirrored, so I used the flip effect for that. And then please excuse some of the background noise you hear while I was recording. I guess I technically could have recorded it at a different time, but I really didn't want to. I think that was the best time and most convenient time that I could have recorded, mostly because I didn't know how long this would take, and I really needed to complete it and get it done. So that was the best time for me to record it. So I do apologize for the background noise with the voiceovers. Like I could have technically turned this thing in tomorrow and work on it today and tomorrow, but I also have other homework, and I also need a break from all the homework I've done. This wasn't the only class I had to work on, and I've done with everything combined, all the classes combined, I've done like a lot of homework. So I I just need a break like tomorrow to rest from all of this. More thing, you can also find a description about my channel if you go to the About section.